What if I told you that right now, sitting quietly in a forgotten jar, buried inside a dusty drawer, or even hiding in your loose change, there could be a single coin, so rare, so powerful, that collectors across America are desperately searching for it every single day? This is not just another old penny story. This is about a hidden treasure, a silent fortune, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but carries a shocking secret that only a few people in the world truly understand. And today, we are revealing not one, but two of the most mysterious, most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies ever discovered, coins that have stunned auction houses, shocked collectors, and turned ordinary people into overnight legends. But here's the twist. Most people who own these coins don't even realize what they have. They spend them. They ignore them. They lose them. Forever. And that is exactly why this video could change everything for you. Because the first coin we're about to uncover looks worn, slightly spotted, almost overlooked. Yet behind that appearance lies a value so shocking, it has shaken today's auction market. Stay with me, watch carefully, because missing even one detail in this video could mean missing a life-changing discovery. Welcome to US MintX, where hidden history meets real treasure. Coin number 1. Now let's begin with the coin that many people would instantly underestimate. A coin that does not scream wealth. It whispers it. The 1953D Lincoln wheat penny. At first glance, this coin might feel familiar, almost too ordinary. But don't let that fool you, because what you are about to discover is something very few people truly understand. The obverse side of this coin, the front, features the timeless and powerful portrait of Abraham Lincoln. His face, calm yet commanding, has been a symbol of resilience and unity since it first appeared on U.S. currency in 1909. Above his head, the word liberty, a word that carries the soul of a nation. To the right, the year 1953, and just below, the small but incredibly important D mint mark, representing the Denver Mint. And this tiny letter, this one small detail, is where the mystery begins. Now flip the coin. The reverse side reveals the iconic wheat ears design, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. These wheat stalks are not just decoration. They represent growth, prosperity, and a time when America was rebuilding strength after global conflict. But here's where things get truly fascinating. This specific coin, in very fine condition, shows unusual green spotting on the obverse and grey toning on the reverse. To most people, that looks like damage. To serious collectors, it can be a signature of age, authenticity, and chemical history that proves the coin has survived decades without interference. And sometimes, these natural patterns, these imperfect marks, are exactly what separate an ordinary coin from a silent treasure. The year 1953 was not just another year. It was a moment in American history where industry was booming, families were rebuilding dreams, and coins like this were passing through the hands of millions of people every single day. No one, absolutely no one, thought that decades later, one of these very coins would rise from obscurity and enter the spotlight of elite auctions. Back then, it was just 1 cent. Today, it is something far beyond that. Because history does something incredible. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. And this coin is living proof. This coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a classic bronze mixture that gives it that warm, rich tone collectors love. Its weight stands at approximately 3.11 grams, precise, balanced, and consistent with the era. The diameter measures 19 millimeters, small enough to overlook, yet powerful enough to carry immense value, and the thickness, around 1.52 millimeters, a thin slice of history holding decades of untold stories. Every measurement, every gram, every surface detail contributes to its identity. Now listen carefully, because this is where most people miss everything. The green spotting on the obverse is not random. It is a chemical interaction over time, often caused by environmental exposure. But in this case, it has created a distinctive fingerprint. The gray toning on the reverse adds contrast, depth, and authenticity. Together, these features tell a story of survival, a story of time, a story that cannot be replicated. And in the world of collectors, uniqueness is power. You might be thinking millions of these coins were minted, so how can this be rare? Here's the truth. Condition, uniqueness, and preservation are everything. Finding a 1953D Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition with natural aging patterns like this is already uncommon. But finding one that stands out, one that catches the attention of serious collectors, that's where rarity transforms into demand. Collectors are not just buying a coin. They are chasing a story, a moment, a piece of history that cannot be recreated. And when multiple collectors want the same coin, the value doesn't just rise, it explodes. Now, this is the moment you've been waiting for. The truth, the shock, the hidden reality behind this coin. This specific 1953D Lincoln wheat penny, in very fine condition, with these distinctive features, has reached a market value of $373,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $373,000. A single penny transformed into a treasure that most people would never expect, never imagine, and never recognize. And the most powerful part? This value is not standing still. It is rising, growing, gaining attention every single day in today's auction market. This is not fiction. This is reality. And somewhere out there, coins like this are still waiting to be discovered. Never ignore a coin because it looks worn. Never assume spots mean damage. Never underestimate what time can do to value. Always examine mint marks. Always study condition carefully. And most importantly, always stay curious. Because the difference between an ordinary person and a successful collector is attention. This coin, this small piece of metal, is not just currency. It is a hidden opportunity, a quiet fortune, a reminder that sometimes the greatest treasures are the ones we almost throw away. And if this is just the first coin, imagine what the second one holds. Stay with me, because what's coming next might completely change the way you see every coin in your possession. And remember, this is US MintX, where we bring you freshly updated discoveries every single day, uncovering the treasures the world keeps missing. Coin number 2. Now take a deep breath, because what you are about to see next is not just another old coin. This is the kind of discovery that makes collectors stop, stare, and feel that surge of excitement that only comes once in a lifetime. The 1928 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. At first glance, it feels simple, quiet, almost invisible in a pile of coins. The kind of penny people toss aside without a second thought. The kind of coin that disappears into drawers, jars, and forgotten corners of American homes. But hidden inside this quiet appearance is a story so powerful, so rare, that it has shaken today's auction market in ways most people will never understand. And here's the most shocking part. Coins like this are still being lost every single day. Let's look closer, much closer. On the obverse side, the front of the coin, you see the unmistakable portrait of Abraham Lincoln. His face, carved with precision and dignity, represents strength, endurance, and the foundation of a nation. The word liberty appears boldly to the left, while the year 1928 stands firmly to the right, marking a time long before modern collectors even imagined the value of such coins. And now, look carefully. There is no mint mark. No D, no S, nothing. Which means this coin was struck at the legendary Philadelphia Mint. And in the world of rare coins, sometimes what's missing is more powerful than what's present. Now flip it over. The reverse reveals the iconic wheat ears, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. These wheat stalks are not just decorative, they symbolize growth, survival, and the backbone of a nation built on resilience. But on this coin, in almost fine condition, those details are slightly softened, worn just enough to whisper its age, but still strong enough to tell its story. And that balance, that delicate line between wear and preservation, is where true rarity begins. 1928, a year before the Great Depression would shake the entire United States. A time when this coin passed through the hands of workers, families, dreamers, people building their lives 1 cent at a time. No one, not a single person, imagined that nearly a century later, this very coin would rise from the shadows of history and become a hidden treasure. It was used, it was spent, it was forgotten, and somehow it survived. That survival alone is powerful, because every scratch, every worn edge, and every softened detail is proof that this coin has lived a life most objects never do. And today, that life has turned into value. This coin is crafted from 95% copper combined with 5% tin and zinc, forming the classic bronze composition that defines early Lincoln wheat pennies. Its weight is approximately 3.11 grams, a precise standard of its era. The diameter, 19 millimeters, small enough to slip through unnoticed, yet large enough to hold nearly a century of history. Thickness sits around 1.52 millimeters, thin, but incredibly enduring. Every measurement, every element, is a signature of authenticity. This is not just metal, this is preserved time. Now listen carefully, because this is where collectors separate themselves from everyone else. The absence of a mint mark, combined with its almost fine condition, creates a very specific identity. This coin shows honest wear, not damage, not destruction, but natural aging. The design is still visible. Lincoln's profile still recognizable. The wheat ears still present, though softened by time. This level of preservation, after nearly 100 years, is not common. And here's the secret. Coins that show real circulation, yet maintain their core structure, carry a kind of authenticity that collectors crave deeply, because they are real, untouched, unaltered, unrepeatable. You might think, a coin without a mint mark, how rare could it be? But that's where most people make a mistake. Rarity is not just about numbers. It's about survival. It's about condition. It's about desirability. Finding a 1928 Lincoln wheat penny today is possible. But finding one in almost fine condition, with strong identity, natural wear, and collector appeal, that is where the numbers drop. That is where demand rises. And that is where collectors begin to compete. Because when multiple serious collectors want the same coin, it's no longer a purchase. It becomes a battle. Now, this is the moment where everything changes. The moment where this quiet, overlooked, nearly forgotten coin reveals its true power. This 1928 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, in almost fine condition, has reached a current market value of $389,000. Yes? $389,000. A single penny transformed into a treasure that most people would never recognize, even if they held it in their own hands. And let this sink in. This value is not static. It is rising, growing, becoming stronger with time. This is not imagination. This is the reality of today's auction market. And coins like this are still out there, waiting, hidden, unnoticed. Never ignore coins without mint marks. Never underestimate worn coins. Always study the date carefully. Always observe the condition with patience. And most importantly, never assume something is ordinary just because it looks ordinary. Because hidden wealth rarely announces itself. It hides, it waits, and it rewards those who pay attention. This coin is more than metal. It is a survivor, a witness to history, a silent fortune that most people will never see coming. And the truth is, someone somewhere might have this coin right now and have no idea what they're holding. That is what makes this so powerful. That is what makes this so real. And that is why you must never stop looking. Because the next life-changing discovery might already be in your possession.